So you could move at no cost to you. There you go, bonus. I actually didn't really want to include this one. Hello, travel lovers. Welcome to A Wanderlust for Life. I'm Jessica, and in this channel, I usually show you European gems through food and memorable experiences, but sometimes I also talk about expat life, and I get this question all the time, so I thought it was about time to make a video on it. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you 7 ways that you can move to the Netherlands as an American. So let's dive in. The first way is going to be the DAFT, or the Dutch-American Friendship Treaty. This treaty also works for the Japanese. So if you know anybody Japanese who wants to move to the Netherlands, maybe pass that along to them. So basically, this visa is to start a business. So if you have a viable business plan and you have some money set aside, you can check this out and maybe this is the right thing for you. I'll leave everything that I'm talking about in the description so that you can get more details about it. But some examples of people that I know who have come with a DAFT. Somebody opened up a cupcake shop. Other people have been freelance, software engineer, that kind of a thing, more on the freelance side. There's a lot of specifics that you definitely want to check out, so I'll leave all of that down below. Getting transferred. This one takes quite a bit of planning, so you know, you might have to have a lot of forward thinking and hope that you can move to the Netherlands in 5 years or so. But depending on your career path, you might work at a company that could transfer you to the Netherlands. And these are mostly gonna be finance, tech, engineering maybe, things like that. So just see if that might be a possibility in your own company, and yeah, just work towards it. Let people know that you're interested in doing that, because not everybody wants to pick up and move to another country. Even though you might want that with all of your being, not everybody does. I even know people who have moved here and then just, you know, it didn't fit what they expected, I guess, and they just moved back because it wasn't the right cultural fit for them, and that's okay. I'll leave a link down below of companies who are based here in the Netherlands that are international, so maybe that'll give you a little like head start on finding a place to work that might help you move here for a while. Similarly, you could just get a job here. Now, I'm not gonna say that's easy. You have to be a highly skilled migrant, and I don't actually like using that word. It's a very just specific subset of careers, really, but that's what they call them. So again, this is going to be a lot of tech, a lot of finance, things like that. So if you want to, you can apply for jobs here in the Netherlands while you are still in the United States. So they use LinkedIn a lot. You could also contact a recruiting company and see if they can help you. Basically, you're looking for a company who can sponsor you, and that should be like in the description somewhere. If not, you should ask. There is also a web page with the companies that are allowed to sponsor, because not everybody is allowed to sponsor. So you can check that out. Maybe they'll even pay for your relocation. They actually should pay for your relocation, so you could move at no cost to you. Oh, real quick, have you subscribed yet? Have you gone down there, hit the red button? Have you done that yet? Yeah? Okay, cool. Thanks. Go to school. So you could take your bachelor's or your master's here in the Netherlands, and it may be cheaper than when you are at home, depending on where you live in the country. I worked at a major university and I went to a small private school. I am very familiar with how things work and the pricing of things. It's crazy in some places. So in the Netherlands, there is gonna be a range, but you might pay about £9,000 to £13,000 for some of the general majors and programs. It might be a lot more if it's like a medical field or dental field or engineering or something like that, but that'll give you a general idea. And that's for a year. That does not include room and board. Now, as far as I know, they don't usually have dorms here, so you would have to find your own housing. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but that was my understanding. A master's program will cost a little bit more, so you're talking more on the 20,000 euro range. Again, check the details of the university that you're interested in. But I just want to say, universities in the Netherlands are incredible. They have some of the best programs in the world, and I'm just in awe, and they make the news all the time with they created this or they did that. So it might be worth looking into. I want to let you know that it doesn't necessarily mean that you should move to Amsterdam. We do have some great universities here in the city, but it's very hard for people to find housing as a student. So just warning you. Also, I should mention a lot of the programs are in English, so that shouldn't be a problem. As a bonus, you can stay for a year after you graduate to look for a job. It's called a zoek year. So it's like a looking year, like you're looking for a job. And did I say zoekyear, zoekjaar, whatever, mixing English and Dutch. So you could find a company that would sponsor you in that year. I mean, and the great thing is if you've done internships and things like that, that increases your chances of then getting hired if they're allowed to sponsor you. There you go, bonus. I actually didn't really want to include this one. I don't feel like it's necessarily fair, so take it what you will. But if you really like kids, you could become an au pair. Now you'd want to register with an au pair agency who is allowed to sponsor you, because again, that is the most important thing. You have to be here legally. But you should only work up to 30 hours a week. You should get 2 days off a week. I mean, there's so many stipulations. They pay for your housing and food, usually your transportation getting you here, and even up to a certain amount in Dutch classes while you're here. But you only really get paid 300 to 340 euros a month. So you just have to see if that makes sense for you. But if that's just something that you're so passionate about, go for it. You could be like me and be married to an Italian. Basically, if you're a partner or a spouse of an EU member, you could live here. There are, again, some stipulations with that. So Sean had to make a certain amount of money to sponsor me, and now that I've been here over 5 years, I can be here on my own, which is great. But you have to either prove that you have been living together for at least 6 months, or prove that you're married. There's also other ways, but they get very, very specific in terms of if other family members are EU. But that depends on like age and who's supporting you and things like that. Also, I want to point out that if you are a family member of a Dutch citizen, the rules are different than if you are an EU citizen. So I'm just putting that out there because it does get very confusing. I hope you don't think this is copping out, but I think it's a fair thing to say. You could live here for 3 months just as an American, just on a tourist visa. You can totally do that. So you can spend 3 out of 6 months in the Schengen countries, which again, link below. But you could just pretend like you live here. Now you won't have a BSN, which is a social security number, and you won't have insurance or things like that, and you won't be registered, but if you can find a place to stay for 3 months, you can totally do that. Just make sure you stay legal. That is all I ask. Did this answer your question? I really want to know. Do you have other questions about this topic? Let me know down in the comments. And do you have any desire to live in the Netherlands? Let me know. If so, do you know where? Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.